Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It is Superplay Negative AE, and welcome back. This is still the same gameplay session from 2 episodes ago. I'm, we ended kind of the last one on a cliffhanger because I wanted to end the video a little bit short, but here we are again. I'm in the same mood set that I was in the previous 2 episodes, so that might make things better or worse. I don't know what's going to go on. It seems very much like like Shion is becoming a demon or is a demon. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense still. Like like the entirety of the first game happening. Saying like I kind of understand what might have happened in the second game where we were being tortured by Mion or whatever, and Chion was in the trap and was like, "Don't hurt Keiichi." But it seems more and more likely that maybe Mion was the one doing that, and I just want to torture. I just want to torture Mion for not for like lying to me, or something like that, and that might be what's going on. And then for some reason in the second one, Mion tells Keiichi that I won't be the same person, which doesn't make any sense to me. That's kind of something that's weird. Also, Satoko is kind of like a wild card in this situation. She is the only one that survives the town execution by the volcano that one time. And I find that very, very weird. That's a very weird thing. The other thing I find very weird is that everybody's kind of repeating what Rena said in the first game: liar, 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 or you lied, or sorry, sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and just like standing out in the rain. That doesn't make very much sense unless we're talking about like time and um, and we're talking about different dimensions or different time frames or something like that. That would make more sense. But now because we're in the end stretch of things, I lost track of completely what I was just saying. It's it's so hard to keep all my thoughts organized in my head while I'm talking out loud. Anyway, I'm gonna continue this here so we can get right into the story because I know I'm gonna want to continue playing it. We're gonna kind of see what happens in this next chapter here. I should really have saved it there. I'll probably save it right here, actually, to be honest with you, just because I have not saved it since the last since the last time. So let's just do that. I was having such a happy dream. Satoshi-kun was in the dream. He was leading us everyday normal life. This is okay. He was back on the baseball team. Edie and I had acted normally around him because we knew that's how mature people should act. We welcomed him back. I'm also going to be reading a little bit faster. I'm kind of just skimming for information at this point. I don't know. Okay, as if he had been here with us the whole time. Although he hits well in practice sessions, he still doesn't do well in a real game. Come on, Satoshi-kun. 3 strikes already? We're cheering for you. Satoshi-kun patted as he mumbled. Felt tears pouring down my face. Ooh. Sniffle. Sniffle.
サトシ君
The happy dream faded out with my sobs. The harder I tried to focus on it, the faster it faded. Soon it was all gone. I could see the bright morning sun through a crack in the curtains. I was in Mion's room at the Sonozaki house. When did I come back? I was crouching in the corner of the room and crying. A dream is a dream. I wished I hadn't woken up. But one must wake up from a dream. We live in a world where there are no dreams, and that's why we always wake up. What? It's like there are no dreams. It doesn't make sense. Okay, sure. But I wasn't sure if I was the only one dreaming that dream. Because I felt like Satoshi-kun was right beside me.
サトシ君が帰ってきてくれたんだ
What's the rule? Satoshi-kun. If it was Satoshi-kun, I wish it'd smile at me just once. But Satoshi-kun's presence faded away, as if he was never there to begin with. I heard the phone ring by the front door. Ah, that's right. I was the only one in the house now. I had to answer it. I got up to walk to the front door. I felt unsteady, so I put my hand on the wall to support myself. I hardly got any sleep. It was like I had a bad cold. Phone continued to ring. I probably didn't have to answer it, actually. They were still half asleep, and all they could think of was answering the phone.
はい、園崎です。
朝早くにすみませんな。君吉ではおばあちゃんまだお休みですかな。
It's Uncle Kimiyoshi.
はい。昨日のが答えたみたいで、しばらく寝かせておこうと思います。
そうだね。ミオンちゃんもこれから学校だよ。じゃあ枕元に伝言を。
わかりました。なんと伝言します。
昨日の件で緊急に役員会を開くことになったんだけど。
わかりました。伝えておきます。はい、園崎です。
早朝から申し訳あり、葛西と申しますが、ミオンさんですか。おはようございます。
葛西、おはようございます。
シオンさんはまだそちらにいらっしゃいますか。
I wasn't panicked, but I hesitated. I could tell him no, or I could play both Mion and Shion.
シオンはさっき顔を洗って呼んできますね。
I had to play two parts. I went back and forth down the hallway and picked up the phone again.
葛西、おはようです。
おはようございます。シオンさん、今日は登校されますか。
するわけないです。軽いし。
まあそんなとこだとは。それでシオンさん、沖宮へ帰る足を若いのに迎えに行かせますが。
君吉のおじいちゃんとか私のことは放っておいてくれ。
親父さんから出席日数だけは守らせるように。私の小指のために。
まあ気が向いたら努力します。それより葛西、聞いてる？
聞いてるとは。
昨日のあれ。
一応は恐ろしい話です。
これまでのたたりの犠牲者はさ、それが今年はどう思う？
さあ、私の預かり知るところの話ではありません。
昨べの犠牲者の2人がどうし。
いいえ。
実は昨べなんか綿流しの鍵を針金か何かで開けて。
そうですか。バカなことを。
まあ富武さんもそのあたりには疎いよそ者だったってことだね。
Kasai didn't wonder why breaking into the ritual storehouse would justify their deaths. I'd known Kasai for a long time, which is why I knew it was a heavy meaning to what he
でさ
said.
実は私もなんだけど。
What the fuck?
入ったんです。西宮殿にシオンさんが。
その高野さんと富武さん、そして私とほら前原屋敷に引っ越して
Why would you tell him
男の子
things?
と一緒に4人で。
I'm so mad.
シオンさん、去年ああいう一件があったばっかりなんですよ。今度はどうけじめをつけられるおつもりです。
去年が爪3枚だったから奮発。あ、ごめん。でもふざけてるわけじゃ。そりゃ私だって少しは。でもさ、そこまでヤバいことな。
シオンさんは仮に今さらそんなこと言ってまかり通ると思いますか。
っていうか、だって私ずっとばあさんに嫌われて以降その上学園に閉じ込め、そんなの私が知るはずないじゃない。
シオンさん、私はあなたの味方。極力シオンさんを信じですが、いくら私でもかばいきれ。第一。
あ、ごめん。お姉が来たから切ります。じゃあね。チェ参ったなあ。
I could hear the sound of the cicadas. The sound made me feel like I was being cooked on a huge frying pan, making a sizzling noise. I couldn't help feeling remorseful. Now I knew that sneaking into the ritual storehouse wasn't a laughing matter. I really didn't know it at the time. Sure, the door was locked, but so they didn't want anyone to go in. And why did they change the lock? What did they say? think it was that Rika Chama said that the previous lock was too heavy for her, so it changed to that cheaper one. Rika sounds like she's behind everything. I'm sorry, I had to stare off into space for a second. Rika sounds like she's behind everything. I'm trying to think. I almost don't want to play another one after this just to see the comments on these previous 3 episodes, because obviously I'm going to get comments. Ooh. Odd. Yeah, this is yeah, okay. Up my forehead. Then I took a deep breath. I had to calm down. She knows he's gonna get murdered. She must have known. She must have known that someone was gonna sneak in, or that was supposed to be what's happening. Even if she wasn't, she was now at the bottom of the well. Before it was already past the point where I could just cut my fingers off an apology. Felt so unstable. Walked on the fence around the swings at the park before, as if I was walking on a tightrope. It was fun because even if I fell, it was only a very short distance. Where are all the butlers? Aren't there like butlers and people at that house? Why would they be the only ones at the house? Weren't there like people working for them? And it's a school day, so they should be there, right? Like, how are people not going to know that the hag's dead? Like, people are really going to know, like in like a second. Fence at the park. As I took a step, the rope behind me would vanish. I couldn't take a step back because there was nothing behind me. That was, in short, the current situation I found myself in. Standing in one spot was all I could do. Even if I never took another step, I'd fall if I wasn't careful. I forced myself to walk. The danger would only increase. But if I didn't move, I would fall eventually. I couldn't see what was ahead of me. There was no guarantee that I would ever find firm ground. But if I stopped, there's only one fate waiting for me. This is a good analogy, actually. I have to move onward. If I staying here guaranteed death, then I'd rather try to walk, even if I die as a result. Even if there was a dead end ahead of me, at least I tried my hardest. In general, I try to be optimistic. I'd accept my life not lasting particularly long. But I wouldn't go easily. I'd struggle as much as possible. I'd already killed the hag, so that there would be no other punishment than death. I knew my life would end soon. In other words, I was actually already dead. I clenched my fist tightly as I muttered. Even if I had to die, I couldn't die easily. This is my chance to avenge Satoshi-kun. Who did it? For what purpose? And why? I was going to investigate. I was going to question. I was going to expose. Yes, I was going to sell the store. Okay, if I'm in the timeline that I think I am in, Keiichi-kun finds out. Right, isn't that this timeline? Keiichi-kun finds out that like weird shit's been happening, and we find out it's the Sonozaki family. So Rena and Keiichi work together, and come to the house, and ask me about it. And they say we have the place surrounded. Can you please just confess? And then like I go on like a spree, kind of explaining everything, and then I'm like, oh, you should come with me, blah blah blah, and like that's when I trap and torture him to death. Assuming that this is the same timeline, because the last timeline had me kicking over the one key difference here is that I kicked over the motorcycles as Keiichi when that happened. But in this timeline, I'm both Shion and Keiichi, so it's like real weird to talk about who I am and who I'm not. The Keiichi did it the first time, and now I did it this time. I don't know if that's a significant difference or like what's going on, but there's definitely something weird there. Also, being the fact that this is the second time that has happened, like I don't know. It's just weird, and I don't know why. I could hide the hag's death somehow. All I have to say is that she hadn't been feeling well since Watanagashi. I could do it while pretending to be Mion. Just in case her friends at school became suspicious, I'd start telling them that I hadn't been feeling well either. In fact, I did feel groggy from my lack of sleep. When I became Mion, Shion would automatically disappear. I already told Kasai that I snuck into the shrine storage, so he'd probably end up telling people that I was demoned away due to the curse of Oyashiro-sama. The last person I'd have to think about was the fourth one who stuck into the ritual house, Keiichi Maebara. Maybe I can use him as bait to lure out the enemy. Sorry, Kei-chan. You're going to be my bait. I felt a little bad since I was starting to like him. With all that figured out, let's go to school. I'd gone to school as Mion before, so I knew how things worked. Where are the butlers? Where are the people that do stuff for the Sonozakis? Wouldn't they come into work and be like, hey, where the fuck is the person that we serve? Almost time to leave the house. Where are the workers?
待っててくれたわ。先に行っちゃってもよかったのに。
あれ、ミオン。
Hey, I thought that sounded familiar. You waited, you just said, yeah, that's...
顔が赤くないか？息も妙に荒いし。
みーちゃん、ひょっとして具合悪くない？レナの手、冷たいな。みーちゃん、ちょっとだ。そんな大したこと、半日もすればケロッと治っちゃうって。
本当に大丈夫？あんまり無理するなよ。
あれ？ケイちゃん、気遣ってくれる。嬉しいな。
Okay, this all makes sense. I know where I am as far as the stories intersecting. Was it? I might be wrong. Now I'm starting to think back, and I'm trying to think if maybe I'm wrong, and maybe Shion is the one that kicked over the bikes. No, I'm definitely the one that kicked... Keiichi was definitely the one, because I remember Shion coming by, and then the rest of the town came, and then they left. They're like, come on, let's get out of here. And then it ended. So what the fuck?
無理しない方がいい。先生にはお休みだって伝えとくよ。
For some reason that's sticking in my head because that's the only point where these two stories don't intersect. It's literally the only area where they don't intersect, and that's weird.
大丈夫大丈夫。風邪薬も飲んだし、すぐに効いてくると思うから。
じゃあ行こう。くれぐれも無理するなよ。時間。
走らないと。スリリングな朝になっちゃった。鈍った体にはちょうどいいカツかもね。走ろ。
I'm confused about a lot of things still. But yeah, whatever. Sure.
起立。気をつけ。
Never learn, do I?
みーちゃん、本当に今日は具合悪そう。あら、そうな。それはよくありませんわね。
Did things differently from me on the head. Okay.
まあ、女の子には体調が悪くなる日もあるってことだな。
僕にはそんな日はないのですよ。みぱー。
What the fuck? Beyond's friends have kept each other occupied and left me alone. Keiichi Maebara, you might suddenly disappear one day. I couldn't let that happen. That would be like letting a fish take the bait and swim away while I was fast asleep with a fishing pole in my hands. I couldn't miss the moment when the enemy took a bite out of Keiichi. I had to be very careful. It's impossible to keep my eyes on him 24 hours a day. Spying on him at school like this wasn't good enough. Should I have him meet with Shion and let her explain that he's in danger? Maybe we could set up a strategy together. I call him, right? I give him calls. I didn't think that Keiichi was a serious crime. Since last year, all those incidents related to the curse had probably been investigated in secret. People involved at the three families would know about the incident from last night, but Keiichi shouldn't know anything. If I knew where he stood now, he'd be more cautious too. That should make him aware of his surroundings, and maybe he would notice if anything odd took place. Teacher caught him sleeping, so she ordered him to go wash his face. He walked out into the hallway. I was sleepy too. I had to be alert, but I couldn't clear my mind due to my lack of sleep. I decided to go home early. Since I've been pretending to be sick since morning, my request was approved. As I exited the building, I saw Keiichi washing his face. Okay, so we're intersecting timelines. Like, this is definitely what happened in the
やっ
second
ぱ
one,
ケイ
right?
ちゃんはこっちの表の方が気分いいもんね。
Except for that one point in time where the bikes. The bikes is the only thing that's bad here.
授業サボるなよな。
Like, it felt refreshing for him to wash his face with cold water. I washed my face too, but it didn't feel as good as it looked.
ミオン、風邪の方は眠いのは寝不足じゃなくて、風邪薬の。
あはは、実は内緒なんだけど、昨日それでエンドレスに。
徹夜明けか。心配して損した。
Huh.
じゃあな、帰りは気をつけろよ。フラフラして側溝や用水路に落ちるなよ。
あ、そうそう、ケイちゃん。
なんだ。
変なことを聞くけど、深く考えないで答えてね。
Oh, damn! Oh, I love this. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. I forgot all about it. Oh, that's so
それは
good.
内容によりけりだな。
昨日の綿流しの晩さ、富武さんと高野さんに会わなかった？
That's so fucking good. Oh, I love it. That makes 100%. I know. Okay, I know where we are, but I also don't know where we are. I noticed Keiichi's body tense up. His reaction proved that he felt guilty about sneaking into the ritual storehouse. He was frightened that Mion Sonozaki might know about it. I guess this was enough to give him a certain impression of
富
Mion.
武さんと高野さんはわかるよね。ほら、ケイちゃん、お祭りの前日準備の時、シオンと一緒に4人でお話ししてたでしょ？
Trying to come up with an excuse.
さあ、どうかな。あったような、合わなかったような。
He was both a bad liar and a bad actor. He wasn't really that intelligent at all. Well, that would make him a suitable friend for Mion. He was just a brat, unlike Satoshi-kun. Although when it came to lying and acting, Satoshi-kun was about the same level. Maybe Keiichi felt or should be credited for at least trying to tell a lie. Satoshi-kun wouldn't even have said a thing. I didn't need to be thinking about him right now.
そう。じゃあもう一つ質問ね。同じく昨べ、シオンに会わなかった？
This is a very mean question. Keiichi was perplexed as I'd expected.
それ、昨日も聞いたよな。俺、あったかどうかわからないって答えたと思ったぜ。
I'd asked him that yesterday. He must have meant that Mion Sonozaki asked him that question. In other words, she asked him that after he left the storehouse and got back together with his friends. Damn you, Mion. When I asked her, she said she had no idea we went to the ritual storehouse. Shit.
そうだっけ？また改めて聞いたら、違う答えが返ってくるかな。
I fucking love that. That's sick. That's a cool callback. Now that we know everything, that makes sense. Okay, cool. So that makes sense. The thing that doesn't make sense, the only thing that doesn't make sense is the motorcycles, and I know I'm harping on it. It's probably just not a big deal. Probably not a big deal.
どうしてあったかどうかをそんなに気にするんだよ。
Keiichi couldn't find
大したことじゃないの。富武さんと高野さんと悪く言ってる人たちがいるの。何が悪いんだかはよく聞いてないんだけどね。
This is when they were playing like that scary music, and it was like, what? How did she know? How is that the case? Blah blah blah. And this is when Keiichi starts getting freaked out. It'll be an
私、
interesting
ケイちゃんが悪いことをするなんて信じてない。でも、ちょっとだけ聞いてみたかったから聞いてみたの。
Isn't this the one where we asked Rika for help, and then Rika was like, "Oh, the the dog has been messing around where she shouldn't be, and I'll take care of it for you."
不愉快な思いをさせてごめんね。
Is Rika gonna give us trouble? Okay. There's some stuff I still don't understand, but I understand where the second game was coming from. A little bit more now. If we're assuming that if we get rid of the minor details. I know I've been saying that like over and over again, but Jesus. When I turned to the Sonozaki house, I found a woman with an apron on. It's a housekeeper. Her name was Shimiko-san or Shimiko-san. Tag had a few housekeepers who took care of the chores around the house. Exactly.
ほんちゃん本当に
ありゃ、シミコさん。何かご用で？
Today was her turn to help out at the house. She'd arrived, but the gate was locked and she couldn't get in. She called, but there was no answer, so she had just been standing there, not knowing what
バ
to
ッ
do.
チャですね。綿流しの祭りで面白くないこと。
ああそうですか
Shimiko-san tried to remember if she had done
別
something
に
wrong.
無視してるんじゃなくて、昨べだいぶ遅くまでカリカリしてたから知ってるでしょ。一度機嫌を損ねたバッチャが
そうですね
しばらく顔を見せない方がいいと思う。シミコさんに悪気がなくても、バッチャはこういう時は私。
そうですか
I actually know Sodeska because I watch
それは助かりますけ
I watch Abroad in Japan, or I used to a lot, and he was talking about how Sodeska is kind of like the confirmation, like, oh yes, okay, yes, I see. And you can like say it for like anything.
シミコさん、申し訳ないんですけど、他のお手伝いさんにもしばらく来なくていいと伝えてもらっていいですか。バッチャの機嫌が治ったらこっそり電話しますから。しばらくそっとしてあげてください。
Hmm. I headed into Mion's room, set her alarm clock for 2 p.m. and crawled into her bed. I needed to recover quickly. I had to be sharp, calm, and cool-headed. School should be out by 2 p.m. Maybe I'd get in touch with Keiichi. I'd have to call him. There would also be a staff meeting at the Furude Shrine Assembly Hall in the evening. All the leaders of the three families, their relatives, and the town council would gather at this meeting. They're all authority figures in Namizawa. I'd be attending in place of the hag who was sick. I'd worry about the rest when I got there. People shouldn't notice that Mion and the hag were missing for a long time. I didn't need to worry as I had plenty of time. I checked the alarm once more and fell asleep as if someone switched me off.
もしもし。
園崎の妹の方です。こんにちは。今はお時間大丈夫ですか？
シオンか。ミオンと同じで今日は寝不足で寝込んでるんじゃないかと。
え？ひょっとしておね。
Okay, so I know how everything happens from this point forward. I believe what we're just gonna do is we're gonna retell what happened from this perspective, which is fine. Everything makes sense as far as like the second story goes. Okay, sorry. I just okay. I know I get distracted a lot, and I'm like, I'm trying to think of things. Ichi had no idea that the Mion he saw earlier was actually me. He didn't notice when you talked in person, so there's no way he would notice over the phone. I never knew that playing two roles would be so much fun. I felt so much enjoyment, and to feel so much enjoyment in this game or life or death. Maybe I was getting used to the situation. Maybe my senses had gone numb.
ごめんな。ちょっと親が電話待ちをしてるんで。そんなに長話何のようだ。
お話ししたいことがあったんですけど、長電話が無理で仕方ないですね。
If this follows the second story to a T, which it seems like it is after the bicycle, I'm not going to let the bike thing go. I'm really not. But assuming that this follows it to a T, we're going to learn some pretty freaking interesting information, dude. Like really interesting information.
会って話をついでに図書館にも案内してもらえるとありがたい。
図書館って駅前の私立図書館ですか？別にいいですよ。バイトのついでってことで。
Decided to meet Nokinomiya. It wasn't easy getting there from Hinamizawa, but I had to hurry. I couldn't run into Keiichi. He was heading there himself. I recall that the key to the hag's motorcycle was in her secret drawer. The hag usually got driven around for public events, but when she had her own errands, she rode her motorcycle. Keiichi, I assumed, was going to ride his bicycle. I'd tried to get to Okinomiya before he did. Keiichi arrived a bit later than me. Motorcycles are faster after all. There were hardly any traffic lights to worry about on the way there either.
ミオンと違ってしみじみ。
お姉を標準にされるといろいろと困ります。
少しフラフラして。お前も昨べは寝不足だろ。隠しても無駄だぞ。で、学校を早退したに違いない。
残念でした。私はそもそも今日はずる休み。私お姉より要領。
おいおい、学校をずる休みするの要領。
じゃあ先に用事を片付けます。時間もそんなにないですから。図書館へ行くんですよね。
ああ、おふくろの借りてる本の返却期限。図書館は遠いのか？
すぐ近くですよ。
Meant it when I said we didn't have much time. I had to hurry a little. I was just going to talk to him on the phone, but I ended up coming all the way to Okinomiya. After our talk, Keiichi would slowly head back to Hinamizawa on his bicycle. I'd have to rush back there while making sure I didn't run into him. Otherwise, I couldn't make it on time for the meeting. This is all. It all makes sense. Yes. Okay. They need to explain a lot of stuff at the end here, but I mean, so far, I'm interested to see how this works at the end, because there's dead people walking around in the second one, and this would be the most interesting story to return back to. Also, the first episode seems like it doesn't. It kind of seem like the second and third episodes are completely different from the first episode. Like the first episode was very different, wasn't it? I just want to throw that out there. Because it was like, maybe it was just because I was new to the series or something, or like, I don't know. But this all makes sense. Besides, the bowl filled with a collection of moldy, smelly books, but they did have air conditioning and it was quiet. It was the perfect place for when you wanted to be alone. After Satoshi-kun disappeared last year, I came here a lot to think about various things. This was where I first met Takano-san. I didn't want to run into her with Keiichi in tow, but I remembered that she was already dead. The first floor of the building was occupied by government offices. The library itself was on the second floor, so we had to walk a huge staircase to get there. It tasted cool air on my skin as I walked through the automated door. Unlike outside, it was very quiet in here. The room temperature was both comfortable and suitable for books. I could smell the scent of old paper. Isn't this where the Oishi comes, right?
どこの図書館も似たようなもんだな。
Oishi comes to like stop us here, right? If I remember correctly, Oishi shows up, and that's why we have to leave. And then it's like, oh, it's already late. I have to go. And then there was some weird shit where I like run into Kimiyoshi on my way back, don't I? Don't I? And then I kill Kimiyoshi because of that? Because he's like, oh, what the fuck are you doing on the hag's bike or something? Guaranteed. Oh my goodness, it's just starting to all make sense. A little bit. I say it's starting to all make sense, but there's still so many things that don't make sense. I'm going to chat about some ordinary things, and then move on to the main subject. After Keiichi returned the books, I invited him to the intersection of the library. Keiichi knew Mion well, but he didn't know me at all. He showed me an interest in our life story. This is exactly where Takano-san told me about the true story of Hinamizawa a year ago. I was about to tell Keiichi about things that were very similar to that. Did God have a sense of irony?
言われてみれば、例のおもちゃ屋も親類の人が経営してるみたいだったな。そういえば、エンジェルモートも親類の人が経営してるんじゃないのか?
Told him the reason why the Sonozaki family was so powerful in this area. I assumed that since Keiichi came from the city, there's a good chance he couldn't even begin to understand how the old family could literally control an entire area. Unless I explained to him how powerful the Sonozaki family was, he wouldn't understand what kind of danger he was barreling towards him.
特に金融、あと商工会議所の役員も何割かは 沖宮一帯を評伝に市議会議員と県議会議員にも園崎がいますし。
ちょっと待て。なんだかすごい話になってきたぞ。沖宮の町中に親類が経営する店があって、しかもその上商工会議所の役員の何割かが親類で、しかも地元選出の議員までいて。
It seemed flexible enough to accept even something that sounded outrageous to him. He was starting to understand things, although slowly. The way he viewed Shion Sonozaki was changing too, little by little. That should be enough background information. I could go on to explain about Mion Sonozaki, the successor. Then I changed the subject like Takano-san did with me. Go on to talk about the curse of Oyashiro-sama and then the series of
ひょ
mysterious
っとし
deaths.
て園崎家ってこの辺り一帯じゃ。
ねえ、
There he is.
すごいんです。
Batman with a cigarette suddenly cut into our conversation. Oishi? Why was he here?
どうも、こんにちは。今日はデートですかな。羨ましいですね。
そうだと思ったら邪魔しないでほしかったですね、大石さん。
The timing. Couldn't be a coincidence. I knew this man too well. He was crafty, sly, and clever. His presence here can't be a coincidence. Did he see us somewhere in town and follow us? But why? Did he need something from me, Keiichi, or perhaps the both of us? From what I could guess, I didn't think it was me he wanted something from. It's almost like he was trying to keep Keiichi away from me. Oishi was aware that I gave false testimony to protect Satoshi-kun last year. Maybe he didn't think I could talk Keiichi if I was... Why did Oishi need to talk to Keiichi? Must be about the incident from yesterday. I'm sure there were plenty of plainclothes officers at the festival, so they must have seen who was last with the victim. In other words, Keiichi and me. But Oishi knew I was hard to deal with. That's why he was focusing at Keiichi at the present. Why did he have to show up at a time like this?
前原さん、あなたもタフな園崎姉妹を二股かけるなんて。
いや、そんな二股だなんて。
It is super cool seeing it from different perspectives. If there's one thing that this game does coolly, it's show you one situation from two different perspectives. That's really cool. I like that idea. Something that I like a lot. Keiichi looked at me, hoping for assistance. He blushed, and then the way he panicked reminded me of Satoshi-kun. That aside, this wasn't going well. Wish he might even start talking about my relationship with Satoshi-kun. I didn't want him, nor did I want Keiichi to have any preconceptions. You know what's weird is I'm trying to think back, and I really am. I'm trying to think back. I'm trying to think back to that chapter 2, and I'm trying to think of the torture scene that happened where I cut off, where I like did his fingernails, or Mion did Keiichi's fingernails, but I can't think of a time where the girl in the cell referred to herself as Shion. They referred to each other as sis and sis, so it's entirely possible that scene goes down here. I'm very interested to see how the ending of this goes, because we're going to get some crazy information if it goes through the whole thing and shows us exactly what's going on. He was purposely talking about the things I'd rather not talk about. He was basically telling me to leave or he continue on to something that was worse than what they were currently talking about. He didn't use words, but his eyes clearly communicated that anyway. Damn, that big fat weasel.
ごめんね、私もうバイトの時間なんです。
あ、そうなのか？
I realized that I wouldn't achieve anything like this, so even if I stayed longer, so I used my part-time job as an excuse to leave. Uishi looked at me and grinned. Damn it. You won today, but I'll win next time.
そういえば、今日はシオン、なんなら。
また今度。あ、 バイトが終わったら電話し、夜なら電話大丈夫ですよね。
ああ、大丈夫だと思う。
じゃあ今夜電話しますので、じゃあ。
Some interesting stuff going on. Did we read the tips? I don't remember. I don't remember if we read the tips of the last one. Oh fuck! If we didn't read the tips, I have to read the tips. Did I read the tips in the last chapter? I don't know. This is one continuous play session, so I have no idea what I've been doing. Please let me know in the comments. I'm gonna stop here. This is gonna be the last episode because I gotta go to bed. It's fucking 3 a.m. Hag's motorcycle has become my primary means of transportation. My next stop is at the staff meeting at the Furude Shrine's Assembly Hall. It's easy to imagine how a normal meeting would just play out if it were celebrating the end of Watanagashi. But today's staff meeting was likely going to be as strained as the Sonozaki family councils. Yes, the staff meeting was going to deal with the heart of Hinamizawa. I couldn't let my guard down even for a moment. I rested for a while at the house, then left for the meeting. I walked up the long stairs to the Furude Shrine. At the stop, I saw some elderly men smoking in front of the hall. As they had a minor fire, a long time ago it had been made into a non-smoking area. The head of the Kimiyoshi family, Uncle Kimiyoshi, noticed me and waved. I must not have expected Mion to come alone. Normally it would have been either the hag by herself or Mion tagging along as her assistant.
バッチャは夕べのあれ以来誰も近づけず布団にこもりきりです。
Girl understood how troublesome she was when she was in a bad mood. They smiled bitterly in sympathy.
今日はミオンちゃんお嬢さんから話とか聞いてる？
一応。
Did he mean has Oryu-san told you anything? That line by itself didn't really explain much. The staff meeting was usually held by the mayor, the head of the Kimiyoshi family. And he'd asked me, as the substitute for the Sonozaki family head, if I'd heard anything from her. Then I realized who was supposed to lead today's staff meeting.
おじじゃなくて、君吉さん、今日の会合だけど、司会、私じゃないと。
According to the ranking order in the family councils, any substitute for the Sonozaki family head is above the Kimiyoshi family head. In other words, I have to lead today's meeting. There's no way I could do that.
大丈夫だ。ミオンちゃんは座ってる。お嬢さんから聞いてる話があったら。
村長、そろそろ始めますかいね。全員揃いましたね。
The tables were set in a horseshoe shape, and I was told to sit next to the chair reserved for the chief. The seat opposite mine was empty. Considering its location, it was probably for the Furude family head, Rika Furude. Somebody said earlier that everybody was already here. Either Rika-chan called in absent, or the empty seat was just a formality. Knowing the subject of this meeting, I don't think that the Furude family would even want to attend. Even if Rika-chama actually attended, she wouldn't be able to say anything. All she'd usually do at the Sonozaki family councils was draw pictures on a notepad. She'd probably end up drawing pictures at this meeting too. Not if my assumption about Rika is true. If Rika could really be at the center of everything, because if she knows everything or how everything's gonna happen, she could be the demon, you know? You know? It's weird that Rika knew everything in that one chapter, and now that we're here, it kind of would make sense if she's just like the incarnation of Oyashiro-sama and that's what's going on. But then it would make less sense why she wouldn't know. I don't know. When everyone was seated, the head of the Women's Association served tea. Women's Association served tea. Interesting. She gave me an evil look, trying to tell me to help out, and I got up and did so. After that, everyone fell quiet, and the secretary stood up.
それでは皆さん、本日は大変お忙しい。それでは初めに村長さんからご挨拶を。村長、どうぞ。
座ったケンちゃんも座ったままでいいよ。今日は平日の夕方に、また昨日はおかげさまで本年も祭りにも村中から大勢がいらっしゃる。来たの何人？大本営発表だと5000人だそうです。
Everyone laughed except
今
me.
後もますますの文化の向上よろしくお願いいたします。
Applause with only 8 people doesn't sound so
そ
great.
れでは引き続き議事の本日の議事を君吉承認していただける方は拍手でありがとうございます。それではただいま漫座でのご承認をいただきよろしくお願いします。
どうもケンちゃんおつかでは申し訳ない。カーテン閉めましょうかね。
Everyone closed the curtains nearest to them. The sun was still up, but with all the curtains closed, the room became very dark. The village chief explained the details of the incident as well as what went on with the police. A police vehicle discovered Tomitaki-san's body on its way back to Okunomiya last night. Ueshi's special curse unit was standing by, expecting something to happen for the 5th time, so they responded quickly. Since Tomitaki-san and Takano-san were rarely apart, Oishi got in touch with the neighboring prefectural police departments and asked them to look for her. As a result, they found a burned body of a woman in the mountains in the Gifu prefecture. The body was then identified as Mio Takano. Considering the circumstances, the police ended up labeling the 5th incident as the 5th of the ongoing series of mysterious deaths. When he finished, there was dead silence. I watched to see who would speak first. Nobody said a thing. Then oh fuck.
ミオンちゃん、お嬢さんは何か言ってたかい？
What do you even say here? This is an interesting situation that I have no idea what I would even say. Everyone looked in my direction. I was sure they could see the hag in me.
園崎家当主代行。本日は当主お寮によろしくお願いいたします。
I became Mion. I tried my best to become as cold and unfeeling as the Mion I witnessed over a year ago. That cold version of Mion was inside of me. That was me. I was her.
不幸にして、お社様のお怒りは5年目にも下されることになりました。大変悲しいことです。
I was speaking through my mouth. They all heard me and trembled in
ど
fear.
うして今年もわかる方はいますか？そう。西宮殿の金を犯し、土足で聖域を踏み。
なんちゅうこと。
The elderly man got up and yelled.
あ、本当に信じられん。腹渡引き裂いても、お社様、お怒りをお鎮めくだ。なんてこと。お社様、これだからよそ者すっか。なんも考えねえ。ガクガクもないよ。あれすってれんこってなるね。バチ当たりともんが。
Old men yelled even as they trembled in fear. Their sudden change scared me more than a little. Even Uncle Kimiyoshi, who was usually so gentle and sweet, became like a demon of war, cursing those who broke the rule of the ritual storehouse. It had become like a raging ocean inside the assembly hall. Their yells spun about like a whirlpool. They roared, crashed, and howled. Even while doing nothing but watch, I could feel myself turning pale. Mion threatened me yesterday because I had been shocked this morning. What I saw before me was similar to that. Even the sweet and gentle Uncle Kimiyoshi was saying they deserved to die. I was fearful of the sudden change in those elderly men. More than anything, the fact that they all believed that those people deserved to die for trespassing is what terrified me. It wasn't just that, of course. The real thing I was scared of was that I was one of the people they wanted dead. In other words, it was almost like they were telling me to die of the curse. If they were to find out that I snuck into the ritual storehouse, it was very possible that they would strangle me on the spot. They might not kill me that easily. By then, I was certain. People in this room were true believers in Oyashiro-sama, just like the hag. They wouldn't hesitate to murder whoever made Oyashiro-sama angry on his behalf. Even if they didn't carry out the killing themselves, they would pretend they didn't see anything. Yes, even if my head was cut off right in front of them, everyone here would act in collusion and say I never attended today. They all testified that they waited and I didn't show. I'd be demoned away. It would be far too easy for them to erase someone and have them disappear. There was no mistake. The people are linking the hag and the curse were definitely here at this meeting. I continued speaking. I was Mion Sonozaki. I was on the side responsible for the curse. Therefore, at that moment, I didn't need to worry about anything. Nobody could tell the difference between Mion and me. That's what would keep me safe.
お静かにお願いし。
ほら、静かに静かに。
Uncle Kimiyoshi helped me quiet everyone, but his tone was violent. He really scared me. Eventually, gradually, everyone eventually became silent.
西宮殿に忍び込んだ賊はあと2人います。
People once more became restless upon hearing that, but Uncle Kimiyoshi yelled at them again and they settled down.
富武さんと高野さんは分別のつくお社様のたたりが直ちに下りましたが、もう2人は子供です。まだたたりは免れていますが、何のけじめもなく許されることはありません。
They had all turned genuinely pale as trying not to miss a word I had said. After all, they were all thinking that the kids I mentioned could be their own relatives or even grandchildren. They wanted to know who they were to put their minds at ease.
その2人の狼藉者は、そして前原圭一。
Feel the air getting drier. It was so dry that it almost felt like it was going to start making a crackling
園
noise.
崎しおすでに
Couldn't even hear the old people breathe. Took a peek at Uncle Kimiyoshi, who was sitting next to me. He adored Shion as if she were his own granddaughter, but she had been demoned away. I wanted to see how distressed and sad he looked. When I saw his face, I felt a sensation on my back, as if my skin itself was making a cracking noise. He didn't even have an expression on his face. Uncle Kimiyoshi adored me. I loved him, and I thought he loved me too. That was why I expected him to be saddened after learning that I met with such a cruel fate. What was I thinking? The memory of his warm smile shattered inside of me. There was no way of describing the fear that I had experienced in that moment. In mere words, he had suddenly changed into someone I didn't even recognize. Uncle Kimiyoshi noticed me looking at him and spoke.
もう一人の。
まだです。
I had to take a deep breath to regain my composure.
西宮殿を犯した4人、すべてに前原圭一も例外ではありませんよ。
Chilling looks, cruel looks, emotionless looks, shrewd looks, and the looks of people who were about to snap. I could feel the demons chewing my words while they stared at me with their sharp eyes. I could see some of them sticking to their snake-like tongues, and I could see flames in some of their eyes. They were memorizing the names of the intruder the curse had yet to fall upon. And so the meeting went on. We were told not to tell the police too much, report what they asked us, and to hold another meeting whenever something of significance happened. Something unexpected took place. We were to get in touch with either the head of the Kimiyoshi family or the head of the Sonozaki family for instructions on what to do. With those closing remarks, the meeting was over. It was already getting dark outside. Being in a valley surrounded by mountains, doesn't Kimiyoshi get murdered here? Kimiyoshi gets murdered here, right? And then Rena and Keiichi come to my house and talk with me about it, and I reveal some bullshit story about some shit. And then I pretend to be Mion to torture. Like I remember the second game pretty clearly. And started to head home himself. I call that.
君吉さん、この後ご予定はありますか？
いや、何もないよ。
うちへ寄ってもらえません？
お嬢さんが呼んでるのかい？
はい。直接会って話したいことがあるんだとか。
じゃあやるかな。
Kimiyoshi arrived at the Sonozaki house. He often came to the house to have secret meetings with the hag, so he wasn't suspicious at all. I invited Uncle Kimiyoshi into the living room, served him a cup of tea, and told him I was going to fetch the hag. I left the room and killed some time down in the hallway.
バッチャ、着替えたから来る。ちょっと時間かかるかもで。
ゆっくり待ってるから。
Uncle Kimiyoshi relaxed as he sipped his cup of tea. I sat
多
next to him.
分、シオンの話。
I mentioned my name and watched for his reaction. Uncle Kimiyoshi looked so grim. I couldn't even tell if he heard me. I decided to continue speaking until he reacted in some way.
シオンは去年があります。北条家の人間なんかと。
去年は、爪を剥いで
ええ、3枚剥いで。
シオンちゃんは
地下にいます。
様子はどうなんだい？
The fact that he knows that is kind of weird.
ずっと泣いていますよ。
ミオンちゃん、率直なところ、お嬢さん。
具体的なことは聞いてます。ご存知と思いますけど、バッチャは怒りが度を超えると逆に無口になりますからね。
西宮殿に入ったんだもんな。しかも自分とこの身、そりゃそうだろうな。
おじいちゃんはシオン。
そりゃお嬢さんのことだから、むしろ身内だからこそ厳しく当たるだ。
何しろそれは許されないことでしょうね。
さすがに西宮殿はな。
でもシオンもかわいそうかもしれない。
What the fuck is that statement?
だって西宮殿の不可侵。
確かにシオンちゃんは不憫だよな。
Dude, you are walking on thin ice, girl.
私か。
I know you kill him here. You kill him here, right?
背中の入れ墨を見る以外に私たちは何もない。ミオンとシオンなんて区別自体が何の意味もないのに。
Twins are proof of bad luck. One should be eliminated as soon as they are born. Jesus. That's just the family precept. Yeah, they did say that before. The hag. It's 57, really? That's how the story went, at least. Okay, we're gonna go until she murders him. I adored and hated Xian. My sister never understood why we had to go through that. I didn't care who was Mian or Xian. So one day we came up with an idea, and we decided to share the Dormian experience and the sadness Xian experienced. We often switch places. Both Mian and at the same time, we were both Xian. Adults around us tried to put different clothes on us or style our hair differently so they could tell us apart. That was nonsense. No matter what they did to us, all we had to do was switch places and nobody could tell us apart. Finally, they decided that we switched places because we were always together. On that day, Xian got to go to an amusement park. Since then, we've been separated.
ミオンちゃん。
私にはそしてどんなことに決まってもバッチャは身内であれば。
そうだな。お嬢さんの悪いところ。
シオンは園崎シオンでなければと死に準ずる罰。殺されなかったにしたって、つまりは。
ミオンちゃん、シオンちゃんは反省してるんだろ。
Oh, Kimiyoshi knows that I'm not Mian.
ええ。
大丈夫。シオンちゃんがちゃんと反省してるなら、君吉のおじいちゃんに。
本当に
そりゃあお嬢さんは私に。でもおじいちゃんは引かないよ。シオンちゃんがしっかり反省してるんだから、許してあげてほしいってちゃんと頼んでみせるから。
本当に去年の北条聡君みたいに鬼隠しになっちゃったりし。
罰当たりの北条家の坊主ならいざ知れず、 そのザキ家のしおんちゃんならきっと許してもらえるって。
北条家の坊主って去年の犠牲者の。
北条の連中、村を丸ごと売ろうとした売国と同然の奴らだ。
I like the we're gonna stop it right here. It's an hour. This is about where shit goes down. Damn it, I really want to play the next one. It's gonna fucking keep me up. But I gotta stop. I can't play another one. I literally can't. I cannot play another one. Fuck, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. There's lots of visual novel roguelike content. I've talked at nauseum about what I think's going on, what's happening. So, or at least for me, it feels like I'm annoying everybody. So I'm gonna not do that. We know what's happening. Obviously, we're in the second story, and we're kind of going from the opposite perspective. Obviously, we kill Kimiyoshi here, and that's how she finds out that Shion's been demoned away. Then Shion gets, or not Shion, Oishi talks with Keiichi, and Keiichi talks with Rena, and Rena and Keiichi kind of go to the house together. I thought that was weird because it was the one story where Rena was not evil, and she brings Keiichi to that area, and that's when I kind of abduct Keiichi and kind of like torture him in front of Mion. And then like after that is really where I'm curious, because everything here I don't doubt that they can make sense of, up until the point where Keiichi is in the hospital, or Keiichi gets stabbed, because I do tell Keiichi, if next time you see me, it's not going to be me, and I wonder what's going through my head. Is it just because I know that there's a demon in my head and I could kill him? I'm obviously not very fond of him, so, or at least Shion is not as fond of Keiichi as she is of Satoshi. So there's like that weird disconnect there. I'd be real interested if they did a recap on story 1, because story 1 was the most confusing out of the 2 stories, I would think. Well, actually, I don't know. Story 3 was pretty. The one with the uncle is really hard to understand, just because there was a doppelganger involved in that one. Jesus. Yeah. Thank you guys. I will see you guys in the next episode. Whenever that me, I'm gonna go get some sleep. It's been a long night. I got on to play like an hour's worth of Higurashi, and here I am 3 hours later. But yeah, I appreciate you guys bearing with me, and kind of listening to me ramble on about random shit when I should really just shut my mouth and have the game really do all the work there. Anyway, I'm going. Good night, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day if it's daytime where you are, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.